right, it is decision day for FSU and myself. We're going to take a look at the coach score. It is in and see what to do or what I may be forced to do. So, if you remember, the scale is from 0 to 100, 40% for participation, 40% for your coach report, so how your opponents graded you, and 20% for season success. Altogether, that equals 100. You can score over 100. There's options or the ability to gain bonus points in season success, and then for other things outside of that as well. And whatever the team's rating is, it's +5 this season. So for Florida State, they are an 82 overall. So that means I would need 87 in order to keep them. So let's start breaking this down. So first we have participation. So you can see the polls. I missed one poll. This is, I believe, when I was out in Vegas. Funny thing is I woke up and that was the first thing I thought about. I forgot the poll, but it was too late. I saw the top 25. I'm like, all right, take an L there. Coach reports. This is me submitting them, not getting them. So you see the NA, those are because those are bye weeks. Those actually aren't misses. So I have all 12. For stats, the NA again, bye week. So I have all 12. Now recap, this is where it gets interesting because you see down here, it says I have 40 out of 40, and you're probably thinking, well, you missed a coach report. Or sorry, coach report, you missed a poll. How do you have 40 out of 40? 5 recaps make up for something messed up here. So ultimately, you can do 10. That gets you 2 freebies, so to speak. So my 6 recaps make up for that one poll. I get 40 out of 40. Now, the one that most people get nervous about really shouldn't, in my opinion, because if you're playing the right way, you're not doing anything super crazy, you should get pretty good scores. There are exceptions to that, of course, as I'm sure we'll find out in live chat, but that's generally how it goes. So the way it works, you see there's 2 reds here. Your highest score gets dropped, your lowest score gets dropped. So ultimately, the other 10, in theory, would count for 4 points apiece. What if you don't have all of your coach reports submitted? You'll have fewer. So there was a season that I had 8, for example, because 4 people didn't submit one. So a loss or a bad coach report there could actually hurt you more because it's going to count for more. Think of it as having quizzes. The more quizzes you have, the less impact it has on your total grade. Check that out. So looking here, you can see IROC, that's Bud. He gets the win. A lot of winning against me this season, but to be fair, even when I've had winning seasons, I've still, for the most part, had good scores, so can't really complain about it. The one that I gravitated to was this one because it's actually really true. So C Nasty, who had Miami, one of the most fun realistic battles I've had on this version, very strategic and creative offensive approach, and a grind throughout. Sammy is one of the best in class vets around. Happy to have him as a rival. Excellent game, man. And thanks for getting in. Hope we can do it again next year. Well, we'll have to see about that. But I thought it was cool because that's exactly how this game turned out. It was very strategic. In a game where offense seems to have every advantage and defense is nerfed quite a bit, we had a defensive battle, and those are the games that I tend to enjoy the most. So that was reflective. Also, that's where my losing streak started for the season, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's just talk about the fact that it was a fun game to play. Just I would have preferred to be on the other side. And then some other ones, all Fran Shemayan, thanks again for being flexible. I assumed that was Chase at BT, playing late night at work, coming for revenge next season. I assume this is Duvid. I'm not 100% sure. This one made me laugh, this part here. Who doesn't like Sammy? I hope to be like him when I grow up. So it could be one of 2 people. It could be FSU Penguin, being funny with a joke, or it could be El Jefe, also being funny with a joke. Though if it was him, it'd be more hurtful since he told me that I'm not that I'm old enough to be his dad. I'm older than his dad. Oh, that hurts. But anyway, all 5s. So as you can see, 40. We'll take that. Now, season success. So if you're doing the math here, I've got 80 points. So in order to keep Florida State, in theory, I would need 2 points here. So the way this works is, scroll down just a tad bit more, don't spoil anything. Your win goal counts for 40. So I need to say again, this is weighted. So this is 100 points. It's graded on a scale of 100, but it's worth 20% of your grade. So 40% is for meeting your win goal. 30% goes to conference goals, and there's 2: win or finish top 4. And then rivalry games is always 30. The question is, how many rivals do you have? I have 3, so it's divided up into the 3 games, so 10 points apiece. And if you're looking at the teams and coaches, yeah, it's a tough slate. So Clemson, who is El Jefe, that's 10 points, undefeated in conference play going into this season. Florida, Big Mike, lost to him last season. And then Miami with the Nasty. Haven't played Corey too much. It's actually be our first, was our first regular season game. You already saw that I lost. And then your bonus points. So bonus points count towards the 100 points that you're graded on in season success. It's not overall score. I think that was a misconception for some people, figuring like, oh, if I got road wins, that would boost me. I got 3 road wins. That gives me 6 extra points on my total score. It doesn't. Those 6 points go towards the 100 you're graded for in season success. So road wins would be +2. Beating a ranked team. Wall rank, it's +2. Unranked, it's +5. And then any win over your win goal is +1. If you make a bowl, it's 4. If you win it, it's 6. And then the CFP, making it is 8 wins +2. So any game you win is an additional 2. So you can stack points if you're doing the math. And then contributions to the NDL. This could be media. This could be competition, the season highlight. This could be recruiting. This could be working in the farm. This could be doing work on the social media, whatever. How that's defined is how it's defined. Conference commissioner, obviously that is pretty obvious what you're doing. And then admin work, if you're an admin doing stuff to help the league run. And then the other one, contribution to NDL media team. I thought that was a separate one, but being on the media team too. So obviously I'm on the media team. I'm on the Outliers podcast. So there's that. So let's scroll down. This is what you have for the season. So you can see my results. I won 4 games. Ouch. Really bad season. 4-8 on the season. And you can see the win goal. So even I still couldn't hit the win goal. Hey, the way it works is 0.5 means that you're within 2 points of the overall, so it's a push, counts as a half game. If the team is rated higher than you significantly, or 3 points higher, it is a 0. If you are rated 3 points higher than the opposing team, it is a 1. So I beat Georgia. You can see that's a 0, so that's cool. And obviously a ranked matchup too. They were ranked 7. Iowa State was ranked 18, Miami 21, NC State 13, Clemson 7. So a good opportunity to get some ranked wins. Was able to squeak one out against Georgia. Pretty dramatic game. Lose a close one to Iowa State. Turn the ball over late. Opportunity to try to win that one. Miami turned the ball over late. Couldn't punch it in on the 4th down on the drive before. And then Clemson, just a beatdown. NC State, probably the one that hurts the most. A loss in overtime by 1, went for 2. That was also a game that was extremely laggy. I mean, the field goal was a chip shot and it was centered. If we make that field goal, we win. But missed the kick. And you look at what that cost me. Ultimately, that cost me 7 points because a road win of 2 and a ranked win. So that would have been 7 bonus points. So then we calculated. So did I meet my win goal? No, failed. Conference goals, neither, failed. Rivalry wins, 0. so failed. So I got 0 out of 100 for the goals. Out. But then the bonus points. So a road win, I had 3. That's 6 points. Wins over win goal, obviously none. But then that ranked win at Georgia, huge. That was 5. So I got 11 points. So I still was able to get 10%. I got 2.2. So if you're doing the math, that's 82.2. So based on what Florida State is, they're an 82 overall. But I'm going to need an 87 in order to keep them. If you go down to the bank points, because of how I played last season, I exceeded all the goals and scored high. Thus, I had more than enough to fill up my bank. The max your bank can be is 5 points. So, get the media bonus, 1 for the podcast. That leaves my overall score as an 88.2. In order to keep them, it's an 87. So the 88.2 is including the bank. So my non-bank score, which means if I entered a draft, would be an 83.2. And with that said, we're going to mutually agree to part ways. Disappointing season for me at Florida State. It started out good. We were 4-2 and then lost 2 tough games in overtime, followed by losing 6 regular season games in a row. So an 8-game losing streak to end the season. Very disappointing. Definitely some frustrating losses. The defense. Ooh, the defense. The funny thing is the defense showed up in a couple of them, but then it was the offense. This is kind of how it works when you're losing, is because you're not running as a well-oiled machine. There's always something breaking down. Virginia Tech, it was special teams. NC State, the offense, but to be fair, I didn't have a lot of control in that situation with the lag. In the Miami game, it was the offense. Offense was pretty good for most of the season. In the Wake Forest game, it was special teams not being able to get an onside kick. So just, it is what it is. But we're going to make the decision to enter the draft. So we're going to head to the draft with a score of 83. That's not a great score, but that's how my stint will end at Florida State. So you can see with the update, my current decision is to enter the draft. Now, with the draft, I want to come here. So the default is to enter. We have until Friday to make our decision. And then it will be divided into 2 days. So we do it all at once. It's a 2-day division, at least for the draft. So the way it works is that the day 1 part of the draft is for everyone that was able to keep their teams and decided to enter. That is where I fit in. And it's sorted from highest to lowest score. That's day 1. Day 2 is for all the coaches that were, quote, fired. So highest to lowest for day 2. And then after that, any people that are filling in extra spots in the league, if the league is not full, are at the back. And that is by order of entry to the league. So we'll be in the bottom part of day 1. Basically, we're just going to be right in front of day 2, I think. I'm not really sure where that puts me, but I'm excited for the draft, and we'll see where things go from there.